Welcome to the Explainer. Listen, today we're taking a mountain of raw data, expert insights, and some truly proven strategies, and we're going to transform all of that into a crystal clear, actionable playbook for launching your very own online reselling business. The resale economy is absolutely booming right now. It's actually growing faster than traditional retail, so there has literally never been a better time to claim your piece of the pie. Let's get right into it.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll start with number 1, the reselling business model. 2, finding niches and sourcing. 3, the perfect pricing formula. 4, channels and cross-listing apps. And finally, number 5, fulfillment and scaling up.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the reselling business model. The absolute beauty of this whole concept is that you completely avoid the massive hassle, the risk, and the huge capital required to manufacture your own products. You're just buying products and reselling them at a markup, adding your own value through curation, photography, and marketing.
So, how do you actually acquire this inventory? Well, there are 2 main paths here: arbitrage and wholesale. Arbitrage is that classic buy for one, sell for two kind of hunt. You're scouring stores or the web for discounted individual items to flip. Wholesale, on the other hand, means you're buying goods in bulk directly from brands or distributors at a much lower cost per unit, and then reselling them.
Let's look a little closer at arbitrage. It's incredibly popular, and for good reason. You can start with very little capital, you aren't risking your money on massive pallets of inventory, and it's highly flexible. But, there are trade-offs for sure. You have to constantly hunt for deals, whether that's scanning online clearance sections or literally digging through the racks at your local TK Maxx. Plus, you've got to watch out for brand gating, which is where online platforms just flat out restrict you from selling certain big-name brands.
Moving right along to Section 2, finding niches and sourcing. This is day 1 of your playbook, and it's absolutely crucial that you pick a specific category rather than just trying to sell a little bit of everything.
And for the aspiring entrepreneurs out there, breathe easy. A reselling business can realistically start with just a $200 to $500 investment for your first small batch of inventory. Just make sure to pick a niche you actually understand. Maybe it's streetwear, refurbished tech, or vintage clothing. Doing this allows you to validate the online demand through thrift stores or B2B platforms before you go and risk any serious capital.
All right, Section 3, the perfect pricing formula. This is where we get into the real tactical realities of the business, the crucial math to actually ensure you're profitable.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we can break the pricing process down into 4 highly actionable steps based on data from Nifty. Step 1, research recently sold listings. Not active ones, but what buyers actually paid. Step 2, calculate your minimum profitable price. Step 3, price based on exactly how fast you want the item to move. And Step 4, actively monitor the performance and reprice if the market shifts.
Let's ground this with a real example. Imagine you found an awesome vintage Guns N' Roses t-shirt for $4. You look at sold listings and price it at $30. After you subtract that $4 sourcing cost, about $6 in marketplace fees, and say 10 cents for packing materials, you're left with $19.90 in pure profit. That translates to a massive 66% margin.
So the crucial point is this, the 10% mark. You absolutely must set a profit margin floor. Buyers are almost always going to try and negotiate with you, right? So you have to build a buffer into your listing price. The golden rule is to never let your final margin dip below 10% after all fees, shipping, and negotiations are accounted for. If you don't hold the line here, your business just won't survive.
Also, keep in mind that resale value isn't static. It's heavily influenced by a few key things. Seasonal shifts mean winter jackets obviously won't fetch top dollar in July. High demand for brands like Nike or Apple means those items sell a lot faster. And of course, item rarity, like a discontinued Lego set or something out of production, will command a massive premium and requires you to monitor the market daily.
Which brings us to Section 4, channels and cross-listing apps. Let's talk about the software weapons you need to scale operations efficiently.
I want to pose a critical question directly to you. How do you list that one vintage t-shirt on eBay, Amazon, and your own Shopify store at the exact same time without accidentally selling it twice? Overselling is a massive danger. If 2 people buy the one shirt you have to cancel an order. That instantly ruins your seller reputation on major platforms, and it can get your account suspended.
Well, the answer to that nightmare is a top-tier cross-listing app. Utilizing insights from 3 sellers, you really need software that gives you real-time inventory sync. So when an item sells on one platform, boom, it's instantly removed from the others.
You also want bulk pricing adjustments, comprehensive analytics to see what's actually working, and broad integrations across multiple marketplaces.
And this brilliantly illustrates your long-term channel strategy. You should definitely start on established marketplaces like eBay, Amazon, or Depop for instant traffic. But eventually, you want to build your own digital storefront. Having your own store allows you to avoid those steep marketplace fees, control your margins, and actually own your customer data to build real brand loyalty.
Finally, we reach Section 5, Fulfillment and Scaling Up. Let's look at some real-world case studies of successful scaling from JumpSeller. Consider our first case study here, Marvin. He started reselling on Amazon with just $500, focusing entirely on the grocery niche. Instead of chasing rare items with high margins, he focused on cheap products with a modest 20% ROI. He bet everything on volume and turnover instead of markup. And because he moved so much product, his wholesale suppliers actually started giving him first pick on massive clearance deals.
Next up is Justin's strategy. He started by buying one single used motorbike, dismantling it, and selling the parts. He grew that into a 5-figure inventory by doing 3 things religiously. He reinvested every single dollar back into inventory, he automated his fulfillment using batch shipping labels to save hours of manual entry, and he provided highly transparent condition reports. That transparency built immense buyer trust.
And finally, we have Oliver, who built an incredible business around limited edition streetwear. He proved that in reselling, your presentation is literally part of the product. By sourcing scarce items and investing in studio-quality photography for his listings, he was able to sell items at a massive premium, often doubling his investment on items he found on Depop.
So, the ultimate online reselling playbook is now in your hands. With the resale economy booming faster than traditional retail, what hidden treasures are sitting in your closet, at your local thrift store, or deep in an online clearance bin right now that could launch your new business today? Get out there and start hunting. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy selling!